Okay, my name is Sasha Beaulieu. I'm from the Red Lake Nation. Well, we chose this spot because this is the Red Lake River. We have 4 tributary rivers, and we went over the crossing areas, and this happened to be the closest spot we could find here. And I just thought it was really important that, this is a Red Lake River, and the right over behind me here is literally the line. So this is as close as we could get. I figured this is a pretty important spot to protect here. This is the Middle River. It's a tributary river of the Red Lake river system, where this is a dewatering pump. We're still seeing the gosh, I'm just so mad right now. We're still seeing the pipes in the water, and it's literally ran dry right here. This is supposed to be the riverbed right here. There is zero flow. If it gets under a foot and a half, the Q90, they're supposed to pull the permits immediately. So we need to get this information out to the DNR. We need to get this information out maybe to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. Obviously, these marine creatures, everything around here is suffering from this. I mean, there's not even no way for them to get from this side to that side. This is horrible. This is really bad that they let it get to this degree of dry. I mean, they don't even have this listed where they pull the permit. Marshall County isn't even included in that list yet. So this is really sad to see. This is sad that they're not even paying attention to this, what's going on here. And I'm thinking the people of Marshall County might be just as concerned, because I see zero police presence. I don't see anybody here trying to stop us. I mean, I don't know how the people of this county aren't concerned themselves. I mean, if this is what they used to fish out of, this is what they used to be into, why are we the only ones that are concerned here? But this is very upsetting. I just got off the phone with our tribal attorney and some of the councilmen. So I'm here on a tribal monitor stance. I have to do some documentation, take some pictures. If anybody has if you can do picture stamps, and just show them the levels. We need to get these pictures out and these videos to them immediately. They need to get to this site, because the places where they take the river levels they're like 20-30 miles away. We need to get them to this site here, stick their thing in right here, and tell us that it's okay to fucking drill here, because there is no water here at all.
And where are they drilling right now?
It's just literally right down the road here. I mean, if you go up to the bridge here, it's just a football field away. The what? The drill is right over here. So let's go over here and check that out. But in that 5 million seeded acres was the Red River Valley. Most of northern Minnesota we gave to them at that point, and we retained our rights to do our hunting, fishing, gathering. We're able to travel to and from ceremony within those spaces. And our usufructuary rights, a lot of people forget that Indigenous people hold usufructuary rights to the water and to the minerals. Anything underneath 6 inches in the ground, we have the rights to. We never gave up our water rights or our mineral rights as Indigenous people. I want to say about 6 camps right now are all along the whole pipeline route. Yes, we have traditional fish traps set out there. We have nets that go onto them. That's one way that we used to do fishing. They usually will build a platform on the top and fish right off of there as well. So that's an important part of our culture as Anishinaabe people, is fishing. So it's really important to have those out here while we're doing our treaty stuff. So yeah. No, it definitely is not normal. I mean, we are in a severe drought, but you could clearly see the water pump, dewatering pump sitting right next to the river there, and there was a sand bed all the way across. There was no river flow. It was just sad seeing those little fish or whatever those were peeking out of the water. They're dying under the bridge there with nowhere to swim. It's just really a sad sight to see. Well, I would say for the most part, I'm pretty proud of how my tribe stepped up. It's 10-0 in support of our opposition against Line 3. They made a resolution that they're never going to work with Enbridge, or, from this point on, we're never going to have any type of relationship with Enbridge. We actually have them in quite a lot of lawsuits for past damages. They were illegally pumping 5 lines of their pipelines through Red Lake lands for over 50 years. So they pump billions of gallons of oil through there a day. We never signed any leases. We never made any contracts. We never seen a cent from those 50 years. So they completely destroyed that little piece of land that we had. So we're suing them for damages. We're probably one of the most opposed tribes out of all of the Minnesota tribes. Of course, they're all in opposition. White Earth is against it. Leech Lake is standing up against it. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, not all tribes stand as strong. Fond du Lac is kind of almost more on the side of going for Enbridge. It's not quite the same as Red Lake, so it really varies from place to place, the opposition for it.
So has it unified the tribes or in opposition?
I would say so. I have a pretty good following with Nancy Beaulieu and Don Goodwin of Leech Lake and White Earth. It's definitely brought our people together closer in some ways. So it's definitely formed some bonds between some of the nations. Well, the Minnesota DNR have a big say with the watering permits. Even the local hydrologists can stop this. So there's quite a lot of different state agencies and federal agencies involved at this point. At first, the DNR MnDOT was working pretty good with us in the beginning. They're the ones that gave us a permit to be on this land for our ceremonial use, although we don't need a permit, but they're the ones that were working closest with us. But things have definitely turned since the work has turned up. They've really gone silent with us, just as everyone else has. I mean, in the beginning, Walsh was all buddy coming to Red Lake all the time too, saying how he honors treaty, even signed a resolution with the Red Lake Nation, how he plans to honor our treaties. But how could he honor our treaties when they're out here being violated daily? So all of those agencies that were so friendly in the beginning have gone silent on us.
It feels like that this pipeline, it's 60% complete, and there is a sense of urgency to stop it now. Like, where's the momentum, with the camps, with elected leaders, with supporters? Like, where's the momentum? Like, where has it worked, and where do you see kind of like the struggle kind of going?
Yeah, well, it's just really tough because I knew once drill week came, they have 6 different drills, and right now they're at like 3-4 different major campsites. So we were at Middle River today, and we're hearing the drill might be here today in 1863 treaty territory, while Shell River is currently being drilled underneath. While White Earth is saying they're reporting shaking in the ground, and they could hear the drill going underneath. So they're using checkerboard tactics with us, where we're not able to all unify all at once because they have 3 or 4 or 5 drills going at once. So it's tough for us to unify per se for the camps, but at the same time, it's good we have eyes all the way up and down this pipeline. It's really important. I mean, every single one of these are our own home rivers, so it's just about trying to gather more supporters here to come and support us in our own home river area. That's definitely something we're trying to do. We have a few organizations in Minneapolis that set up people, kind of screen them through and vet them to come up to the camps. But unfortunately, we get a lot of weekend warriors. We get pretty full on the weekends, but then everybody has to go home and do their things. So it's kind of tough finding full-time frontliners right now. So I'm hoping people start paying attention now that our treaties are being severely violated. Our waters are being severely violated. They have a pump in Middle River, and the water is completely gone out of some spots. I mean, that's a severe violation to our waters and our treaty rights and our human rights. So I just really hope people start paying attention now.
And when was this camp set up?
December 22nd was the first day we set up the wigwam and did a pipe ceremony out here.
And was this all? This wasn't here like the fencing or
No.
the construction.
Yeah, nothing was out here in the beginning. It was just us and a couple security guards. They did approve the permit in December, so they did work for about 3-4 weeks there, and then we got them shut down with they were trying to drill under the water, under the ice, but they are unable to see the frack out clay, so they had to stop working until June. So it's just recently resumed again.
And what kind of like, as a, somebody who's not only a tribal member, but you're also like a leader in this fight. There's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make personally. Like, what's it like being out here all the time?
It gets really exhausting. It really presses your spirit, and it's hard. Some days when it's 95 degrees and humid, sometimes I just want to go home and shut the door and turn on my AC and just go to work, my 8 to 5, but that's not an option for me right now. The water is in perilous danger, and we need to stand up for this. So right now I feel like this is my most important fight right now. So I have to put all my personal comforts and securities to the side, and luckily my tribe and my employers and everybody, they understand. So I'm able to do this. Unfortunately, not all people have such understanding jobs, and so I'm really lucky to be able to put all my stuff on hold like this. But at the same time, it's definitely a sacrifice. It's definitely a trying thing, but it's worth it to me in the end, especially if we could beat this. It's definitely worth it. But in the end, at least I could say I tried. There's no way I could sit at home and be okay with this happening here. So I'm honored to be here, and I will take whatever battle or hardship comes to me to be here next to this water.
We're right on a main drag here, and we just experienced somebody coming in who wasn't welcome.
Well, this is the Red Lake River, not from Red Lake.
This is not the Red Lake River. This is
Yeah, this is the Middle River.
Mother Earth's expense.
This is not sustainable.
What's your name?
Yes. What is your name? What is your name?
Farmer Joe.
Okay. Well, I'm Farmer Sasha, and I'm here to protect my river.
Yeah, I would say probably within the last couple weeks we've been getting some pretty emboldened people driving by. There's a bar just right outside of town here, Black Cat Grill, that a lot of pipeliners go to. So we get a lot of real drunk people that drive by here. We had a drunk guy in a van tried to come flying through the cemetery road about 40 miles an hour. He was about to try to take it down that hill, and we had to cut him off and stop him. We were able to successfully stop him. So it's just some touch and go stuff, but lately it's been there's been a few that were getting a little bold there.
Yeah. With this water here, this isn't just for Native people, and there are a lot of non-Native allies and supporters here. What does that relationship look like for Indigenous people of this land and people who are guests or visitors?
Mm-hmm. I think at this point everybody here realizes the importance of this water, and a lot of people are coming from like California and Florida and places like that, New York. They were fighting a pipeline over there in a Mohawk territory, so they understand the importance of a fight for water. Their waters are under attack too, and some of them, like a family that came from a ranch in California, there's nothing they can do about it over there but watch the lake get lower and lower and lower. And So they came to stand with us. They believe in our fight. They believe what we're doing is right. So a lot of people are just waking up to the importance of this fight here. No, I don't. At this point, no, I don't. I really was hoping, but even during the presidential debates, I've watched every single one, and he did not say not one word about Line 3. At that point, I was like, this is not good. He hasn't said a word about it. I mean, still to this day, you got to really twist his arm to say anything, and it's really, Mom, it really blows my mind that he says he's for climate change. He's going to stop this pipeline and that pipeline, but not the biggest one in the world going through our lands here. So it just really blows my mind. I don't know where they stand. I mean, but clearly they're okay with the process of this happening during a extreme drought. So it's sad to see.
And it's kind of apocalyptic because you can't really see it on the camera, but you have wildfire smoke coming in. So we have red moon rises, red sunsets, and on top of that you have a historic drought coming through. And it just seems to me insane because it's actually the effects of climate change are actually inhibiting the construction of the pipeline that will be further contributing to it. So what are like local state politicians? You have Peggy Flanagan in the governor's office. Where are they at in this? Because she's from one of these nations too.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's in a really weird situation. I don't know Peggy personally, but people have called her out just on the fact that she is Native, and she was very quiet on the situation for a long time, wouldn't take nobody's calls, not her family, not her local tribal members, nothing. So she recently came out and wrote something that she does personally still oppose Line 3, but she's not able to stop it by herself. So she's just kind of making excuses like, I just work here, but I can't change anything. That's the type of attitude she's taking right now.
And you grew up here, so like, what was it like? What do these rivers mean to you?
Geez, we practically lived in the water. We'd wake up and get our bikes and have breakfast, and who's bringing the sandwich meat and who's bringing the bread, and we would stay out on the water swimming until nighttime. I mean, we were raised in the waters, around the waters, and we'd get hungry, we'd go pick berries in the woods, we'd stay gone all day, but we were raised by these waters, so it's just really sad seeing them this way. I've never seen them this low in my life. And many people around here, the local sheriff has commented on it. There's locals around here that have said the same thing, that been here their whole lives too.
It's almost like a sign too that it's like, this is it. Like, if you follow the pipeline route, it crosses so many waterways and goes by so many lakes. Like I just don't. For me, like Standing Rock, I think there were like for Dakota Access, there were like 232 waterways or something like that. But nothing. If you look at a map in this region, it's blue. It's all blue. And the necessity of it, what is the necessity of it? Like the economic necessity of?
I think the lake is everything to us up here. I mean, there's some tourist town that purely live off just lake sports and people coming up here for their tourist seasons. The hunters, I don't know what the farmers are going to do without this water here. The water means everything to us up here in northern Minnesota. It carries us, so it just really baffles me how more locals aren't concerned about this right now.
And where do you see the struggle going right now?
It's just really disheartening seeing the agencies, our state agencies, just looking the other way. I mean, we're obviously documenting clearly empty riverbeds, and they still continue to deny our claims. They still continue to deny listening to our voices. So it's very disheartening to see this, and I just feel like they want to silence our voices and silence our rights, and they're pushing us to a point where it is going to get to standing rock levels again where rubber bullets and mace might come out, because I'm not going to just quietly go back home. Okay, you're assaulting our rivers, you're not going to listen, I'm going to go back home. No, I am not. So I just really hope that there's some state departments or somebody that listens before it gets to that. But unfortunately, yeah, it's just really sad. I feel like they're pushing us to this level where we're going to have to do something as personal citizens to stand up for this water, because the federal agencies and state agencies are not listening to us.